The HR office smells like artificial lavender and anxiety. I'm sitting across from Jennifer, our head of human resources, and my hands won't stop shaking. She slides a printed document across the polished desk. Formal, clinical, damning. The header reads, Formal Workplace Complaint. My eyes scan down to a single highlighted sentence. Created a hostile work environment through targeted harassment and humiliation. Harassment? The word hits like a physical blow. I need you to walk me through what happened on Tuesday afternoon, Jennifer says, her voice professionally neutral but her eyes sharp. She's watching for tells, for admissions, for guilt. My throat is dry. I genuinely don't know what she's talking about. Tuesday? What did I do on Tuesday? My mind races through mundane meetings, emails, the break room coffee that tasted like burned rubber. Nothing stands out. Nothing except, oh God, the conversation in the storage room. It was barely 2 minutes. I thought I was being considerate, discreet even. How did that turn into this? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I manage, though we both know I'm stalling. Jennifer taps the document. This complaint alleges you made inappropriate personal comments that caused significant emotional distress. The complainant felt singled out and humiliated. Humiliated? I was trying to prevent humiliation. Now I'm sitting here with two impossible choices: stay silent and accept blame for harassment I didn't commit, or defend myself and expose exactly what I said, which means revealing the embarrassing truth about a coworker. Either way, someone's dignity gets shredded. Either way, my reputation at this company might be over. How did trying to help someone turn into a career-ending nightmare? Jennifer is waiting. The silence in the room feels pressurized. Can you tell me who filed the complaint? I asked carefully. You know I can't disclose that information yet, but I need to hear your side first. What happened on Tuesday afternoon around 3 p.m.? 3 p.m. Storage room. I remember now, with painful clarity. I had a brief, private conversation with a colleague, I said slowly, choosing each word like I'm defusing a bomb. It was about a workplace concern. What kind of concern? This is the trap. If I'm too vague, I look guilty and evasive. If I'm too specific, I'm repeating the exact thing someone apparently found offensive enough to file a formal complaint about. A hygiene concern, I finally admit, feeling my face heat up. Jennifer's expression doesn't change, but she writes something down. That can't be good. And how exactly did you address this concern? Privately, respectfully. I asked if they were feeling okay and suggested. I pause. God, this sounds even worse when I say it out loud to HR. I suggested they might want to freshen up. Freshen up. Jennifer repeats it flatly. Yes. And what prompted this conversation? Here's where it gets truly mortifying for everyone involved. There was a noticeable odor. Body odor. It had been going on for several days, and other people in the office had commented on it. I thought it would be kinder coming from me directly rather than letting it continue or having multiple people talk about it behind their back. Jennifer leans back slightly. Other people commented? Who? I'd rather not say. They made offhand remarks, but I was the only one who actually said something directly. So you took it upon yourself to confront this person about their body odor? Confront? That's not what I did. Is it? I pulled them aside privately. I tried to be gentle about it. And how did they respond? I remember the look on their face, the way their expression shifted from confused to mortified to angry in about 3 seconds. I remember the look on their face, the way their expression shifted from confused to mortified to angry in about 3 seconds. They seemed upset, I admit. They left pretty quickly. Jennifer makes another note. Did you consider that this might not be your place, that there are proper channels for these types of concerns? Honestly, no. I thought going to HR about someone's body odor would be more humiliating than just talking to them like a human being. The irony isn't lost on either of us. Let me back up. let me tell you how we got here. His name is Marcus, and he's been with the company for about 8 months. He works in our department doing data analysis. Quiet guy, keeps to himself mostly, decent at his job. We're not friends exactly, but we're friendly. Or we were. About 2 weeks ago, I started noticing something. At first, I thought maybe someone had brought in food that had gone bad, that sharp, sour smell that makes you breathe through your mouth. But it kept happening. Same time every day, strongest in the afternoon. It took me 3 days to realize the smell was coming from Marcus. I'm not trying to be cruel here, I'm really not. But it was strong. Like he hadn't showered in a week. Like his clothes hadn't been washed in longer. That thick, unmistakable smell of body odor mixed with stale fabric. And I wasn't the only one who noticed. "Oh my God, do you smell that?" Priya whispered to me by the printer one day. She wrinkled her nose in Marcus's direction. In the break room, I heard Jake and Monica. "I can't sit near him in meetings anymore," Monica said quietly. "I literally hold my breath." "Someone needs to say something," Jake replied. "It's getting ridiculous." But nobody did. Because who wants that job? Who wants to be the person who tells someone they smell? The problem got worse. Marcus would walk past desks and people would find reasons to suddenly leave. In our shared workspace, colleagues started subtly moving their chairs farther away when he sat down. I caught someone spraying air freshener the moment he left the room. It was becoming cruel in its own way. This collective, silent rejection. Everyone was handling it by just avoiding him, excluding him. And Marcus seemed oblivious, or maybe he was just pretending not to notice the way people leaned away from him. On Tuesday morning, we had a team meeting in the small conference room. 8 of us packed in there for an hour. Marcus sat in the center of the table, and by 30 minutes in, the smell was overwhelming. I watched Jake literally excuse himself. Priya kept her hand subtly near her nose. The project manager kept suggesting we get some fresh air and opening the door.
That's when I decided someone had to say something. And maybe because I'm a woman, maybe because I thought I could be more tactful, maybe because I was just tired of the cowardice. I decided it would be me. Tuesday afternoon, 3 p.m., I'd been planning what to say all day. I found Marcus in the storage room restocking printer paper. This was perfect. Private, away from everyone, no audience. My heart was pounding. How do you start this conversation? "Hey, Marcus, got a second?" He looked up, surprised. "Yeah, sure, what's up?" I closed the door partway, tried to make my voice gentle, casual. "So, this is kind of awkward, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but are you feeling okay? Like, health-wise?" He looked confused. "I'm fine? Why?" God, this was harder than I thought. Okay, so there's no easy way to say this, and I'm really not trying to be rude or make you uncomfortable, but I took a breath. There's been kind of a noticeable odor lately, and I just wanted to check in privately because I thought you'd want to know before. I'd want someone to tell me. I watched his face change in real time. First, confusion. What? Like, body odor, I said, forcing myself to maintain eye contact to show I wasn't being malicious. I don't know if maybe you've been dealing with stress or if it's a health thing or what, but it's been pretty strong this week, and I just thought, are you seriously telling me I smell? His voice had gone cold. I'm telling you because other people have noticed, and I thought you'd rather hear it from someone directly instead of other people? He repeated it like I'd betrayed some confidence. Who? That's not, the point is, I'm trying to be discreet here. I'm trying to help you. By telling me I stink. His face was flushed now, somewhere between humiliated and furious. In the goddamn storage room like I'm being scolded? Marcus, that's not... You know what? Fuck this. Fuck you. He pushed past me, yanking the door open. I was trying to be kind, I called after him. He didn't turn around. I stood there alone among the boxes of printer paper, my stomach churning. Had I just made everything worse? The rest of Tuesday was tense. Marcus avoided looking at me for the remainder of the day. When we passed in the hallway, he walked right by without acknowledgement. Wednesday morning, the atmosphere felt different. I noticed people glancing at me, then quickly looking away. Priya avoided eye contact during our morning sync. Even Jake, who literally complained about the smell, seemed distant. At lunch, I sat alone. By Thursday, I knew something was wrong. Marcus had been out sick Wednesday and Thursday both, and people were treating me like I'd done something terrible, like I was the villain in a story I didn't understand yet. I pulled Priya aside in the kitchen. "Okay, what's going on? Why is everyone being weird?" She looked uncomfortable. "You really don't know?" "Know what?" She lowered her voice. "Marcus told a few people that you humiliated him, said you cornered him and berated him about his hygiene in front of others." "That's not what happened. I pulled him aside privately. Nobody else was there. I'm just telling you what I heard," Priya said defensively. "And now there are rumors you've been making fun of him behind his back, too." "What? I was trying to help him. Everyone was talking about it. You complained to me about it." "Yeah, well, I didn't confront him about it," she said, and there was an edge to her voice now. "Look, I get you had good intentions, but maybe you should have just let HR handle it or something." She walked away, leaving me standing there with cold dread spreading through my chest. That afternoon, Thursday afternoon, I got the email. "Please report to HR tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to discuss a personnel matter." I barely slept that night.
Now I'm back in Jennifer's office, and she's reviewing her notes with the kind of methodical calm that makes me want to scream. "So let me make sure I understand," she says. "You approached Marcus privately to inform him that he had body odor, believing this was kinder than allowing workplace gossip to continue. Is that accurate?" "Yes." "And you did this without consulting HR or considering alternative approaches." "I thought I was considering alternative approaches. The alternative was everyone continuing to talk behind his back and avoid him. I thought direct and private was the most respectful way to—" "The complaint alleges that you created a hostile work environment," Jennifer interrupts. "That you singled him out for personal criticism that made him feel unwelcome and targeted. He says he's been dealing with a medical condition and that your comments made him feel humiliated and discriminated against." Medical condition. Oh, God. I didn't know that," I say weakly. "He didn't tell me that. I asked if he was okay health-wise." "Did you ask what the specific issue was? Did you inquire about whether he needed accommodations?" "No, I suggested he might want to use deodorant or shower or—" I trail off because I can hear how it sounds, how it all sounds. Jennifer sighs. "Here's the situation. Marcus is claiming this constitutes harassment based on a disability. He's requested that you not contact him or speak to him about non-work matters going forward." "So what happens to me?" My voice is barely above a whisper. "That depends. I need to finish my investigation. I'll be speaking with other team members about the work environment and any corroborating information." "Corroborating? You mean people who also noticed? People who complained to me about it?" "If there are witnesses to the alleged harassment, yes. But they won't back me up." I'm horrified to feel tears building. They're already treating me like I did something terrible because nobody wants to admit they were bothered too. Nobody wants to be on the wrong side of this. Jennifer's expression softens slightly, the first crack in her professional facade. "Look, off the record, I understand you may have been trying to help, but you put yourself in a very difficult position. Hygiene issues, medical conditions, anything related to someone's body, these are incredibly sensitive matters that should go through proper channels. So I should have reported him to HR? How is that more dignified?" It's not about dignity. It's about protecting everyone involved, legally and professionally. When you took this on yourself, you assumed a liability the company can't cover. The reality settles over me like a weighted blanket. I'm not just in trouble. I might actually lose my job over this. "What happens now?" I ask. "I complete my investigation,
You'll receive a formal response within a week. In the meantime, maintain professional distance from Marcus. No retaliatory behavior, no discussing this matter with colleagues. And if he's lying, if he's exaggerating what I said, then that will come out in the investigation. But right now, there's a formal complaint, and I have to take it seriously. She stands, signaling the meeting is over. I leave her office on shaky legs. The following week was the longest of my professional life. I came to work every day not knowing if I still had a job. Marcus returned from sick leave but transferred to a different team for workplace comfort reasons. People whispered. I pretended not to notice. On Friday, I got the email with my formal response. After thorough investigation, we find that while your approach was inappropriate and violated company policy regarding workplace concerns, the incident does not rise to the level of harassment. You will receive a formal written warning in your file. You are required to complete sensitivity training and will be on performance monitoring for 90 days. Not fired, but not exonerated either. The written warning meant no promotion eligibility for a year. It meant any future issue, no matter how small, would be viewed through the lens of me being someone with a history. Marcus never spoke to me again. He left the company 4 months later. Some coworkers gradually warmed back up to me. Others never did. Priya admitted months later that she'd felt guilty for not backing me up, but she'd been scared. She said, "I didn't want to become part of the problem." I get it. I really do.
But here's what I learned, sitting in that HR office with my career hanging in the balance. In the corporate world, honesty isn't always the right move. Sometimes the kind thing is also the risky thing. Sometimes trying to help someone puts you in the crosshairs instead. Should I have said something? Should I have stayed silent? Should I have reported it to HR and let them handle it, even if that felt like tattling? I still don't know. What I do know is that there's no training manual for these moments, no script for how to tell someone something uncomfortable without it exploding in your face, no protection when good intentions collide with hurt feelings and corporate liability. I tried to do the right thing. Maybe I did it the wrong way. Maybe there was no right way at all. All I know is that in an office, even honesty has consequences. So here's my question for you. What would you have done? Would you have said something directly? Gone to HR? Stayed silent and let everyone keep gossiping? Drop your answer in the comments, because 3 years later, I'm still not sure I'd change my choice. But I'm not sure I wouldn't either. Sometimes the hardest part isn't making the decision, it's living with the aftermath.